Okay, so today we're going to be reviewing for the absolute value equation test. So just a reminder, guys, the steps to solving an absolute value equation. The first thing you need to do is you need to isolate the absolute value. That means you can't have anything outside those two vertical lines. So like that 9 would have to go. Okay, then you do a check. If it's equal to a positive number, you're going to split it into two equations, one equal to positive, one equal to negative possibilities, and then you would solve and you get two solutions. If it's equal to 0, there's only one number that has a distance of 0 from 0, and that's 0. So there's only one solution. And if it's negative, there's no number that has negative distance. Negative distance isn't a thing, so there's no solution. Because again, absolute value is just the distance from 0. Okay, so if we look at number 1 here, the absolute value is by itself. It's equal to a positive number. You're going to split it into two different equations. So 8x could equal positive 32, or 8x could equal negative 32. And notice when I split it, I've removed the absolute value because I'm looking at what the two equations possibly could be that would make the absolute value equal a 32. Because these two numbers both have the same absolute value of 32. So to solve it, you just divide by 8, and you're going to get x is either equal to 4 or x is equal to negative 4. Okay, not too tough. Let's try over here. So this one, we have a negative in front of the absolute value. So that negative is the same as like a negative 1. That's multiplying. So to get rid of it, you got to treat the absolute value. Hold on. My lights went out. You got to treat the absolute value just like a big variable, right? If you think of that as just like a big x there, that'd be like negative x. You have to divide to get rid of it. So you would divide by negative 1, which makes it the absolute value of x over 10 is equal to a positive 1. And now we do our check. It is equal to a positive number, so we're going to split it. So x over 10 could equal positive 1, or x over 10 could equal negative 1. Okay? Then, to solve that, you just times by 10, right? Get rid of the 10, and x could either equal 10, or x could equal negative 10. And that'd be your two answers. Okay? Just like that. Let me zoom out a tad bit here. Okay, let's try another one. So this one, number 3, we actually have something outside the absolute value. So again, first thing is I need to isolate the absolute value. So before I do anything, before I do my check, I have to get rid of that 9. It's dividing, so I'd multiply both sides by 9. Gives me the absolute value of negative 10 plus a is equal to 18. Now we do our check. It's equal to a positive number, so you're going to split it. So negative 10 plus a could equal positive 18, or negative 10 plus a could equal negative 18. And then you would just solve that one-step equation by adding 10 to each side, which gives me a is equal to 28, or a is equal to negative 8. And that would be your answers. Okay? This one, absolute value is already by itself. It's equal to a positive number, so you split it. It's going to be a hard one. P is equal to 7, P is equal to negative 7. That was a really tough one. Okay, this one over here, again, we're going to start by isolating the absolute value. There's two numbers in front here, so again, if we treat the absolute value just like a big variable, I would think of that as like 1 minus 5x. So I would get rid of the 1 first, right? So I'm going to minus 1. Gives me negative 5 times the absolute value of whatever, n minus 9, is equal to negative 85. And then to get rid of that negative 5, it's multiplying, so you have to divide by negative 5. And the absolute value of n minus 9 is equal to a number. 85 divided by 5 is 17. So it's equal to a positive 17. Now we do our check. It's equal to a positive number, so you split it. n minus 9 could equal 17, or n minus 9 could equal negative 17. So then you would just add 9 to each side, and n could equal 26, or n could equal negative 6, right? No, 8. Negative 8. Yes, okay. And that would be your answers. Okay, and then this one, same idea, treat it like a big variable, right? So I would add 5, which would give me negative 50, and then I would divide by 5, which gives me the absolute value of negative 1 plus a is equal to negative 25. And then when we do our check, it's equal to a negative number, so that's a no solution. Okay, don't have to do anything else, just a no solution. Okay, then on the back here, this one, number 7 is equal to 0, so it's already by itself, there's nothing outside of it. So 0, there's just one solution, you just drop the absolute value, signs, and solve it as is. So you would minus 3, which gives you 9x is equal to negative 3, and then divide by 9, and it's going to be negative 1/3 or negative 0.3 repeating. Okay? So just a single answer there. And then over here, absolute value is by itself. It's equal to a negative number, so no solution. That was a tough one. And then over here, absolute value is not by itself. We have this negative 8 in front, so it's multiplying, so we have to divide to get rid of it. Gives me the absolute value of 2 plus 2n is equal to 2. Now we do our check, it's equal to a positive number, so you split it. So 2 plus 2n could equal positive 2, or 2 plus 2n could equal negative 2. And then you would minus the 2 that's adding there first, which gives you 2n is equal to 0, or 2n is equal to negative 4, and then divide by 2, and n is going to either equal 0, or n is going to equal negative 2. And that's your answers. Okay? And then one more on the regular section here, so we're going to again, treat it like a big variable. That's like 5x minus 10. So you're going to add 10 first. Gives you 5 times the absolute value of v minus 4 is equal to 35. Then you would divide by 5. And the absolute value of v minus 4 is equal to 7. Okay? Then you split it. V minus 4 could either equal positive 7, or v minus 4 could equal negative 7. And you just add 4 to solve both of those. So v could either equal 11 or v could equal negative 3. And that's your answer for the normal absolute value equations. Then the level 4 question on this test is going to have some blanks, and it's going to ask you to put something in those blanks that would create the given type of solution. So again, in order for it to be a no solution, your absolute value has to be equal to a negative number when it is all by itself. So this blank right here is some number that's like multiplying, right? So in order to make that 24 a negative number, I just have to have some kind of negative number here. Doesn't matter what it is, it could be negative 1, it could be negative 24, just needs to be a negative number there. And it'll create a no solution. Okay, for a 1 solution, this has to equal 0 at the end, right? So we have some number that's like multiplying, and we have some number that's adding. So in order for this to get to 0, we probably want to look at the adding, and we want it to be a negative 1, because we want to have to add 1 to negative 1. So if we put a negative 1 here, and it really doesn't matter, I could put any number in this blank. Just this number has to be a negative 1, okay? This one isn't going to do anything to it. This is the one that's going to make this a 0, okay? Because you're going to have to divide by whatever this number is. Now, to make it a 2 solution, it just has to be 2 numbers that are positive. Or you could do 2 negative numbers, because you're going to have to multiply the bottom number and divide the top number. So if I just do a 2 and a 2, they'll kind of cancel each other out, and you won't even have to worry about them. But that would produce a 2 solution. Just as long as this number doesn't go negative or turn into a 0, which it shouldn't turn into a 0, it should be good. Okay? If you guys have any questions or concerns, just talk to your teachers. We're here to help, and good luck on the test. See you out there.